Thank you for joining our presentation today. When it comes to business continuity and disaster recovery, we believe this solution is the best way to keep your business up and running. Our goal in today's presentation is to pique your interest to learn how you can protect your business more comprehensively and more cost-effectively than ever before. There's a lot of reasons for IT downtime. When a business is down, this affects not only employee productivity, it also affects the customer experience, and it can have residual effects. Employees don't go straight back to work after a problem's resolved, and customers may go to a competitor, never to come back. In the past, only companies with thousands of employees and a staff of consultants could afford to address all of these issues. The good news is that new virtualization technologies have changed all that. Now a company of any size can afford to protect their business with the same industrial strength technologies that were previously only available to the Fortune 1000. Fortune 1000 companies know that eliminating downtime requires coming at it from several angles. That's because there's several things that can go wrong. Good data. Well, what does that mean? Well, you probably all had the experience of spending hours on a document and then losing it because it got corrupted, it was deleted, there was a system crash. If you could roll back the clock to the second before the problem, wouldn't that be great? Application availability. Your email server or database server hiccups and stops working. If you could be up and running again in a few minutes, how powerful would that be? Server availability. An application server fries, it loses power, it stops communicating. It's important to get users back online as quickly as possible. Storage availability is the brute force part of this solution. Buy enough redundant storage so that if one piece of storage has a problem, the information is available in other places. Users are unaware of any problems, but it's an expensive band-aid. And even if we get a similar version up and running, we need the right users to be able to access the right systems the right way. Seems like a huge challenge, doesn't it? We've actually made it easy and affordable by providing the entire solution as a single, turnkey, fully managed service. I think this slide sums up one of today's biggest IT challenges. How close to 5 nines of uptime do you need, and how many zeros will you put on a purchase order to get it? Think about synchronous replication on the right side of this graph. Typically, that's a 7 or 8 figure investment to get 5 nines. In addition, synchronous replication needs both data repositories within 30 miles of each other, and there's ongoing bandwidth costs. On the other side, you have backup, which everybody's familiar with, and I'll talk about on the next slide. Each of these requires a separate storage repository, separate management, separate monitoring, separate interface, separate bandwidth, and more. Doesn't it seem like advances in technology should drive down the cost for more nines of uptime? At the same time, doesn't it seem like backup should have evolved? Let's face it, if dedupe is the next big thing in backup, maybe backup should go the way of the VCR. Our solution delivers the best of all worlds, something that protects all the data, all the time, provides failover if needed, has a very small footprint, and has a price point in line with traditional backup solutions. This is one area I really want to be clear on. When business continuity experts talk about strategies to consider, they don't talk about backup. Continuity implies the business will keep moving forward with minimal disruption. Backup always goes backwards. There's no way that moving backwards should be construed as moving forwards. We all know that backup's almost never current, that it puts the data in some format that's unusable until it's converted back, that it has to be reconciled with the data that wasn't recovered. Then it requires more manual effort to test it and make it usable. If anyone tries to convince you that backup somehow equals continuity, have them demonstrate how quickly they can bring an application back online. We're able to show a live exchange failover whenever you want. Make sure whoever you choose, they have the confidence to demonstrate their business continuity in real time. One look at this slide and you see why most businesses can't afford traditional business continuity. $20,000 a month for a year before any benefits realized. Virtualization by experts is the key to cost-effective business continuity. We're able to deliver business continuity that's better than what large companies can afford and made it available to everyone else by streamlining the implementation and management and leveraging our back end across a wider customer base. What most companies don't realize is that they're already paying a similar amount for a lot less business protection. Backup was designed a long time ago when 8-track tapes were popular. It's not an elegant solution for protecting data or applications. It has a heavy agent that slams production servers and networks. That's why backup runs in the middle of the night, which used to be okay when business ran 9 to 5 and losing a day of information was acceptable. Nowadays, that same level of protection has a really good chance of causing serious damage to a company, their productivity, profits, and even their viability. Here's how we're different. First, changes are copied as they're written to disk by running beneath the file system at a block level. This effort is nearly invisible, using only 1 to 3% in processor cycles, as compared to a 15 to 25% hit that agents running at the file level use. As a result, all changes are protected in real time, as they're made. In addition, we synchronize those block level changes with native application consistency points. These are the prescribed and tested methods that Microsoft, Oracle, and others have written for their applications to fail over. We don't hack in our own code as some other solutions have done. If a failover is needed, it's done the way each manufacturer has specified, tested, and published. First, I want to explain one of the more critical benefits of our solution. By tracking changes at a block level, we're able to protect all the data all the time. What this means is you can have TiVo-like rollback for data. So if a file was created at 10 a.m., went through several revisions, and somehow was corrupted at 4 p.m., we can roll you back to any version from any time. Other solutions simply can't match this, or if they can, you probably paid a lot more zeros to get there. But it gets even better. We don't use a different data set for failover. We're running off the same data set we used for rollback. It makes sense, and at the same time, it's evolutionary. We can pick any bookmark, and with 2 clicks, fail over a server that could be thousands of miles away. Users get redirected, sometimes before they even know there's been a problem. And isn't that the goal? To keep users and customers unaware that anything's gone wrong? Here's the really cool part. We can keep users running in the cloud while the problem's being addressed. We can then synchronize the data in the opposite direction. And when you're comfortable that everything's working, shift back to the on-premise systems. According to Gartner, half of the companies that suffer an outage of more than 24 hours have too much residual damage and eventually go out of business. By eliminating the downtime, companies can prevent catastrophes of that magnitude. Some solutions were designed for a limited number of platforms. Our solution's been designed to accommodate almost every platform that's in use today. The certified VPNs are the connection to the failover site. The failover APIs include redirecting users to alternate servers and a variety of other behind-the-scenes steps that are required for fast failover. In truth, we can protect any application that runs on one of the platforms supported. If there's something you want protected or failed over quickly, contact us, as we're always looking for new ways to help. This is our Failover Facility. It's been engineered to deliver Fortune 1000 class business continuity, and it's just one more benefit to the solution we offer. We've thrown a lot of information at you in a short period of time, so let's do a recap. First, this solution's easy. When have you ever heard that about business continuity or disaster recovery? It's our job to make sure it starts easy and stays easy. Reliable business continuity equals peace of mind. How will you know if this solution's reliable? It takes 2 clicks to test it, and you can do it whenever you want. If you need to prove it's working to your exec team, you don't need to schedule a trip anywhere or ruin a weekend. Simply select the server, select the type of failover, and click Start. It's that reliable. Next, it's robust. We haven't seen any other solutions with this much depth and breadth that didn't require a team of professional service engineers and a lot of money to get it working. Just as important in these economic times is that it's affordable. In fact, after most people realize how exposed they are and the amount they're paying, they're relieved to find out just how affordable this solution is. Thank you for joining us for this presentation. If you have any other questions or would like to see a demo, feel free to call us or contact us via the web. Goodbye and good luck.